right, what's up, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. Give it up. Yeah, all right, here we are. We're back in stride again, Frankie Beverly would say. And here I am, joined with the number one Cowboy fan as well, my co-host as well, PR Cowboy. Give it up for PR Cowboy.
How's it going, G? How's it going? Good to be back, man.
It's going, man. It's going, man. Everything is well, man. We're on the countdown.
Yeah.
We on the countdown, man. Close to this draft, man. And again, we are anticipating what that's going to look like.
I'm anticipating we're gonna make it through the night, not the way it is. So that's all.
Man, I know it. Man, we got to reach out to Chip. Chip, I know he's been busy, man, but yeah, we got to get Chip back on, man. We got to get him back on, man. So, yeah, we'll reach out to him. He's our East Coast Cowboy fan, holding it down on that East Coast, man. But before we get started, I'd like to say give a big shout out to all the followers and all the subscribers of the Cowboy Huddle podcast. Again, like I always say, without you guys, this is absolutely impossible. So give it up for the followers and subscribers. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, here we are, man, on Wednesday night, man. And like I said, we're on the countdown, and we got some things that's going on. I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with what's going on, but we do know that Tyron Smith is retired. Man, you know, Tyron Smith was all that, man. Tyron Smith was all that. I have to give it to him, man. When we brought this guy in, man, this guy was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And he was a major factor to this offensive line. Matter of fact, PR Cowboy, he's the last of the last.
Yeah. That was it. You know, Marlon, Frederick, and Tyron.
Yeah. I mean, this is it. So, you know, here we are with it, you know, a new regime on this front line, and dude, we don't know what that's going to look like. So, yeah, again, man, congratulations to Tyron Smith, man, and we want to say, you know, thank you for your services. Let me put the link in. I got my bad. My man said there ain't no link. Oh, okay, I got you right here. Cowboys Corner. Let me see. Let me put this here on. There we go. Get on in here, Cowboys Corner. Felicia Collins said good evening. Jeff Lee is in the house. Give it up. Cowboy Corners is waiting. We got Felicia Collins. She said good evening, everyone. But anyway, yeah, thank y'all, man, for everybody being here today. Listen, again, we want to say thank you to Tyron Smith, man. I mean, he gave us his 14 years in the league?
Yeah, 14 in the league. And like you said, he was a staple point of that offensive line. He held that left side down for a long time, and man, couldn't ask for anything better at the left side than Tyron.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, I tell you, he's gonna be greatly missed, man, because this is the only guy I know, PR Cowboy, that wore a leg brace as an elbow brace.
Yeah, I fist bumped. We were at the thing. He fist bumped, boy. That man, I was like, man, that boy Andrew big.
He's huge, man. Yeah. Oh my gosh, and his wife is like she's probably about 5'2". But this is something he had to say. He said, "I never imagined that a kid from Southern California who started out cleaning windows, working in janitorial jobs, would be standing here today, retiring after 14 years in the NFL." Smith said, "It's been quite a journey, and you can't talk about the ending without first appreciating the beginning. My mom made countless sacrifices just to help me reach this point." Man, give it up. So, yeah, today he had his press conference, man, and he had a lot to say, man. He thanked a lot of people, man. I mean, I think he didn't miss anybody. And, man, it was good to hear, you know, what he had to say about the Cowboys. And like Jerry said, he wished he could have got him a Super Bowl. And, you know, but for the play that he brought to the table, man, I mean, good grief, bro. So what do you think?
Yeah, and he was one of the reasons we had so many good seasons when he was around. Also, too, he's one of the main reasons of that success. You know, like you said, a regular season success that we had throughout the years, and running backs that have came through that have had good seasons behind him, and Dak, some of the good seasons he's had with him protecting his blind side. Yeah, like
Yeah,
you said, he was at the end, with the injuries that happened, I mean, but he played for a long time at a high level. And what, since he was like 20, 21 when he first came into the league, he was like, and, and I remember the day they drafted him. I was so excited
yeah.
when they got him. And man, it was not a letdown from there on.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he came in right after Doug Free. Was it Doug Free?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug Free I think he played one season with Doug at the right side. I think he was still there at that time, around there in his rookie
Okay.
year. Yeah.
Okay. But I remember when my son was drafted with the Cowboys, and he actually go up against Tyron Smith. And I always say this all the time, and I say, I ask my son, I say, man, is Tyron that good? And first thing my son says that, Pops, yeah, man, he's that good. He's that good. So, yeah. Hey, before we get started, I first want to say thank you to Jeff Lee. Jeff Lee just subscribed to the channel. Give it up for Jeff Lee. I got Jeff Lee in the background, so I hope this is not a troll or anything, but I'm gonna bring him on. And also, we got Cowboys Corner in the house, so let's bring him on. Cowboys Corner's in the house. What's going on, Cowboys Corner?
What's going on, you guys? Hope all is well. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for the reminder. Life's been busy, but I'm here.
Oh, tell me about it. All right, we're gonna bring Jeff Lee on. Let's see what we got here with Jeff Lee. Give it up for Jeff Lee. Jeff Lee, you there, brother?
Yeah.
Hello, Jeff Lee. All right, well, we'll bring him back when he's not so bashful. So Cowboys Corner right now, man. What is your memory, or what do you have on Tyron Smith? Because he signed one day with the Cowboys and to retire. So, what are your takes on Tyron Smith, and what do you remember most about him?
Golly. Tyron Smith, man. My goodness. Jason Garrett's very first draft pick.
Yeah, that's so true. Give it up.
Made a statement drafting Tyron, and Hall of Famer all day long, 365. In 2016, Dak and Zeke's rookie year, I wanted to go to the game, and I wanted to see Dak and Zeke their rookie year. And and we went to the Tampa Bay game, the one that Zeke jumped in the kennel on, and it went viral, that game. And we were able to go to the stadium early enough to watch the players roll in. The very first guy that rolled in that stadium was Tyron Smith. And the arm length, the height, the size, everything you wanted, that was Tyron Smith. I don't get. I talk about these Cowboys so much. I know them inside and out. Their colleges, their height, their weight, you name it. I don't get starstruck when I talk to these guys. I talk to them like I talk to you guys. Like if they're my friends. Obviously, I talk to them with respect. I'll say Mr. Smith, Mr. Gaspar,
and they're young.
Mr.
And they're
Jones.
younger than us.
Exactly. I'll show my respect in that aspect of it. But he walked past me and I couldn't talk. I was just mind blown by the size and the way Tyron Smith,
6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, he's big, and the way Tyron Smith carried himself. Honor that he wore a star for many years. He went to the Jets to try to win one. It didn't work out for him. I hate that for him. That's a guy. There's two guys that retired that deserve the rings the most. Zach Martin being the first, and Tyron Smith being the second. They both should have had Super Bowl rings. They're that good of a player. And to make up for not having a Super Bowl, they should be first ballot Hall of Famers without question.
Yeah, give it up for sure, man. That is so true, man. I totally agree with you on that. I mean, because he has had our quarterbacks back for so long. I mean, that goes a long way, and that goes to where we're working with Tyler Guyton. I mean, it's a project. And personally, I was one that Cowboys going out. I thought I say this might be a big and this might be a big move for Tyler Guyton. You got that look on your face. What just happened, brother?
I got to make a run real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, all right, I'll hold it down, man. But anyway, so yeah, think about it. This is what we're talking about as far as with when we talk about Tyler Guyton. We drafted him. He's a huge guy. This guy's a huge guy, but at the same time, I've always said that this might be a issue of actually moving Tyler Guyton from right tackle to left tackle. Now, I don't know who came up with the idea and said, well, it's just another position. No, it doesn't work that way. It's a different technique. It's a different scheme. And you got to understand the left tackle is facing some of the most dominant defensive end. The most aggressive defensive end. So for us to bring in Tyler Guyton, it leads us to a question. What do we do? Do we draft another offensive tackle? Do we bring in a veteran offensive tackle, which I know we have, which we're going to talk about him as well. But we did bring somebody in. But again, the challenge is now that Tyron Smith is, headed into the pastures. I'm talking PR Cap. I was talking about Tyler Guyton and how this shift will work. I mean, are we still going to be patient, or are we expecting him to come in and be better than he was last year? Because this is not an easy position.
No, that's not. And it's been proven time and time. It's not like, hey, we've seen first round picks that play left tackle not make it here. So I'm expecting it to be better. I'm expecting this coaching staff to get their hands on him. And I don't know. I just something about the kid that just when we got to him, I was really excited about it. Even though we're saying, hey, it's going to be right side, left side. If you remember, as the season came along, there was the injury that happened, and then he wasn't starting after that. It seemed like the injury kind of slowed him down. So I'm hoping after a season, he got a lot of playing time. So I'm hoping that this will get him going, and what happened to him last year will really get into him and motivate him to even get better. And if you think about it, if you think what this offense looks like, what's going to do, they want to run the ball, which will make it easier on the kid too if you stick to that part.
Yeah, facts. I know that we knew he was going to be a project, but at the same time, he missed a lot of the scrimmages that we had with the Rams, I believe it was, and that kind of hurt him as well. But then I really personally, man, I thought they kept him on the injury list simply because he wasn't catching on fast enough as they thought he would be able to. So I don't know if how much truth there is to that, but it's a question.
The thing that gives me kind of hope about it is it's not like a Mozzie situation where we needed help on our defensive line, and Mozzie couldn't even break the second string team to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't getting those, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't even break that. At least with Tyler, they put him in there. They felt comfortable enough for him to start, by the way. So there's something, to me, there's something there, right? So, like I said, I think we're just so used to and which we should too. You expect your first round guy to come in and be an impact player right away. That's what you expect, right? And I get that. And some kids it takes a little bit of time. Some kids just don't get it. Yeah. And it's just we're gonna have to find out with Tyler if it just took him a little bit to get it, or what the deal is with him.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Jeff Lee, I wasn't trying to ignore you, brother. You can also catch that link again if you want to come on. Like I say, this is open discussion. I mean, we invite our listeners to come in and chime in and give their input as far as the Cowboys. So, yeah, I wasn't able to hear you earlier, but catch that link again. You're more than welcome to come on. So, yeah, and that's true. But, see, I think what happened here, Pete, was they was expecting what they did with Tyler Smith. Well, instead of using him as a tackle, we're going to move him to the guard. Well, he just so happened to pan out throughout the season at the guard position. But at the same time, when you're looking at playing the guard position, you're playing in tight quarters. A left tackle is you playing in open space. So there's a lot more responsibility at the left tackle. So,
Yes, and there is. And the thing about it though is like I said before, how many times were we dropping back last year and just leaving the kid on the island as well?
Yeah,
That's the other
yeah,
thing. Like you remember when Frederick and these guys came in, Martin and Tyler, when they came in, what were we doing so well? We were just running
running.
behind those guys. Remember with Zeke and Zeke and Dak's rookie year, they didn't put a lot on Dak. They ran the ball behind that offensive line. DeMarco Murray's years, remember? They knew
Yeah,
DeMarco Murray's year. The defense knew what we were going to do. They lined up 8, 9 men in the box. We didn't change field pass play because we had 1-on-1. We ran it right at them, picked up 5, 6 yards, and that's what I feel like what you need to do with this offensive line is hey, build their confidence up by running
yeah,
behind them and like whatever the case may be, like run it at them. I'm not looking for a running back that needs to break one every time, but like because if you remember DeMarco Murray, not like he broke it all the time, but there were hard 6, 7, 8 yard runs every time.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's so true, and you need a line up front, and that's one thing I'm gonna say about Clayton Adams, man. And I talked about this on the last video. Clayton Adams he's an offensive minded running type coach, along with Connor Riley. Connor Riley is our offensive line coach, so this is something that we want to see. But and when we talk about that, we can talk about the revamping of the front line, the offense, and basically it was a article out there, and basically it was just reported said the Dallas Cowboys were one of the worst rushing offense in the NFL last season. New head coach Brian Schottenheimer and offensive coordinator Clayton Adams are determined to change that. They want to build a more physical offense and brought in Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders in the NFL free agency. That won't be enough. However, which is why they're expected to select a running back in the 2025 NFL draft, and which is needed.
And that's the thing about it, man. We've been saying for the last 2 years, hey, draft this guy in the third round, draft this guy in the fourth round, and it just hasn't been done. We missed on plenty of running backs out there that we could have had. And now you're in a position where you have to this year. Like you have to, and and like you said, we've talked about this new offensive, coaching staff. This is looks like what they want to do. And if you look at that, this is why I don't like the Miles Sanders and Javante Williams. Like I don't mind
Yeah,
Javante. Sorry, I think I'm preaching up.
yeah, yeah. That is a problem, man. That's definitely. I don't as far as the two that we got there, the Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. Again, we've seen Dallas bring in running backs, and we've seen them bring guys that we thought would probably make the squad and end up not making it. So I've seen several that they brought in for free agency to actually be on the roster, but they didn't make it. So I don't know about these two guys, but I am really expecting these guys to draft. And I'll say it again. I continue to say it. But in order for us to be successful, we have to go back to being to that type of recruiting organization where we draft skilled players early. When we have to draft skilled players early, I mean, we can say, we're going to start at the defensive line. We can say we're going to start at offensive line, and that's fine. But this year, we need to draft skilled players early. Just my opinion. But again, I'm not sure about Miles Sanders. I mean, I'm sure they're there for the OTAs and to work out and basically showcase their skill and things like that. But I'm not really sure if they're going to be able to stay on the roster. But I do definitely look forward for Dallas drafting a running back. There's a plethora of running backs out there, so it shouldn't be a problem that finding a running back. So there's a plethora of running backs, and now I don't know about UPR Cowboy, but they're talking about Travion Henderson out of Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm hearing his name. I'm hearing there's a lot of running backs we're hearing in the second round. Like I said, I was saying before, I don't mind Javante. I think Javante will be okay. I don't really like the Miles Sanders one. Um, but like I'm all over first round. I don't care. People will say it's a reach for Omarion, it's a reach or whatever. But if you feel, I mean, we watched the draft when the Lions took Gibbs so early. We didn't think he
Oh,
would go there early.
ah,
And hey,
that hurt.
if you like the kid, you take the kid, right? And just, that's all there is to it.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like I say, and I was just saying before earlier that I think this is the year that we have to draft skill players early. We have to. I mean, it's just where we are.
That's where we are, and it's this front office problems because we didn't do well in those rounds when we could have done the last couple of years in taking some of these positions. So uh, I'm with you. I'm with, like I said, if I would even like you said, I'm okay with trading back because we need more than one guy to kind of get it going. So yeah, let's like I said, well, I mean you're gonna be watching intensely close with that first pick, and we'll see our reactions for sure when we get that first pick.
Yeah, for sure, man. And by you saying that, and that's exactly what I got. Well, Stephen Jones was talking about. He was hinting around. So basically, this is something that he hinted to. And I've said this also. I would rather fall back and try to pick up a second, another second round pick. So that gives us a first round and two second round picks. Man, that we win big time. I mean, don't you think if we were to fall back and pick up another
Yes,
second round?
because look, I understand everybody's looking like, man, we haven't done what, like, these players. Look, we have these first couple players have to come in and be impactful players. They have to come in and make an impact right away. And we've seen it done in the NFL. We've seen two rookies taken by a team come in and make an impact on on a team right away. So it is possible. So like that's why I'm saying, like, if we go and get like a star-studded running back behind and to help this offensive line, and we lean
Yeah,
on the kid and whatever else, what not only that, this helps your defense.
yeah,
If
yeah.
we're able to run the ball like you want to, this is going to help the defense. Yes, we have some weak points in the defense, but that year, once again, when DeMarco Murray, we were real weak on that defense, but that running game helped it come along.
Of
So
course.
that's where it helps, man. So
Well, it get it,
yeah,
it gives your defense a chance to rest.
yeah,
You know,
no,
and we've seen this, man, under Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. Man, we throwing the ball so many times. It was just like, man, where is the running game? And Emmitt Smith said this himself. He said, I really don't see uh, uh, Ashton Genty coming to the Cowboys because he'll get beat up because we're not prepared for a running back like that unless we get a running game in place. And
yeah.
he was also talking about how when we abandoned the running game, what happened. But when we actually went back to the running game and Rico started running the ball, but we abandoned the run again. So
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
it just didn't make sense that he like at the beginning of the year was like they didn't even know who their starting running back was. They didn't know this guy, and that's why I didn't like the Sanders and Devontae Williams pickup this year because it's almost a repeat of last year where you
Yeah,
picked up two guys and you're just like, so you're telling me you could be one of these two guys, but going into the draft, if we draft a kid first round, second round, then okay, this is going to be our guy. This is what we're going to roll with. This is going to be the starter. This has to be the starter.
yeah, yeah. Robert is in the house. Give it up for Robert. And Robert had something to say. He said, "No more great value draft pick." Uh,
Yes, yes. And we know what he means, right, G? Not taking a kid in the second round that's not going to play till 2 more years from now, or not a kid that was injured and fell. No, I need a kid that can play now.
now, now, and we saw that when Zeke was in there and when Dak got his chance to perform. So that's what and Zeke. That's what we got the word. Feed Zeke because Scott Linehan and he was responsible for success for Dak and Zeke because he had a balanced game. He had a balanced game with the run game with Zeke, and then he was able to throw the ball with Dak. So hopefully this is what Schottenheimer is thinking about doing, as far as when we're talking about revamping this offensive line. But again, when we talk about Clayton Adams, which he comes from the Cardinals, well, we got a good dose of him when we played him, and damn, they ran the ball all over us. I think that was
Yeah,
back in 22, 21,
yeah,
somewhere up there.
yeah, and they did it with a kid that the Steelers didn't want anymore. That they didn't think, and he just ran all over them. And also too, like you said, putting him together with Schottenheimer, where Schottenheimer came from that Marshawn Lynch when they with Seattle and running the ball. So that's where I'm hope this everything that I'm seeing from the coaching stand is pointing me towards that direction. If they threw a complete 360 on us, I'm gonna lose it, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
lose it. Like don't put this in front of me. It's like you're putting this cake in front of me and you're gonna pull it out and something. You know what I'm saying? Don't do this to me. Come on, man.
Yeah, and that's so true because we're witnessing what Dan Quinn he leaves the organization and he's building a damn a juggernaut team over there, man. And I'm like, okay, so here's our opportunity. We got Brian Schottenheimer here. We got Matt Eberflus here. So, like you say, don't pull the same stunt. This is the year that you need to go all out and do what needs to be done in order to bring the individuals in. But again, Stephen Jones did hint to maybe falling back in the draft, and that's great. That is great. But it has to be a second round pick.
Hey, yeah, don't trade back 10 spots and get a seventh round next
Fourth
year or
round.
something like that. Yeah, don't give me that. That's the worrisome part. That's the worrisome part. But like you said, trade back, get that extra pick, and hey, maybe even get a player out of the deal. Who knows? Something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, with that being said, our latest signing is Sadiq Charles. Not sure if you know much about Sadiq Charles. Sadiq Charles actually comes out of LSU, and he was with the Washington Commanders, and he was with Tennessee, and he went into retirement. Some are saying that this is a good move. Some are saying it's just a move. But from what I've seen, as far as the research I've done with Sadiq Charles, the guy looks for work. I've seen his highlight. It's not like he just sits there now. He'll pass a guy off, and then he's moving on to the next person. So, hey, man, the competition is starting to build on this line. And I think we got somebody. I think Rob Jones from out of Miami, I believe. We got another line, and I like him too. So there will be competition on this front line with Sadiq Charles, with Rob Jones, with Brock Hoffman, and T.J. Bass. So, and basically this is what the coaches are saying. May the best man win the job. And I think that's where we are. What you think?
Yeah. Can you hear me, G?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, like you said, you hit it right on the head. That is correct. We have a lot of competition here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the free agent wasn't as exciting, right? Once again, it wasn't, wow. And of course not. Why would it be? We were not expecting it. I would say the one guy that I did like that could possibly make a difference, the linebacker from Tennessee that we got.
Oh, you talking about
Very athletic
Buddy?
kid.
Is it Buddy?
Yeah, very athletic. It's off the top of my head. Gee, I can't. I'm trying to think, but it was a middle linebacker we got for the 5th round, right? We traded for.
Oh,
I like it. I think that one that can make an impact pretty
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah. Let me say this to Fleabug, right? Fleabug, I'm having, for whatever reason, I can't send the link through the email. I have to send it through the, on the screen. So I'm for some reason, I'm not able to do that. So if you can catch this link, that's the only way I can get you on. But anyway, yeah, she just sent me a message. I can't send it through the email. I have to send it on here. But anyway, or through the phone. But so here's the deal though, and that's where we are though, PR. The competition, and let it be competition. Make it be some good competition. But Felicia Colley said Sadiq sat out last season though. Yeah, he actually was supposed to retired or so he was going through he had some situations. And I think he went through some things, man. But he's back, which is a good thing. But again, it's good competition if you ask me, right?
And that's what we need, right? Competition on some of these deals, and not just giving a job to somebody and let these guys go fight for it, because the hungrier guy is going to win, and that's what we need at some of these positions, definitely.
Exactly. So let me ask you about that. I don't know if I got a chance to talk to you about this, man, but the Joe Milton the third. Did we get a chance to talk about Joe Milton?
we did not talk about that, and I had missed the show, and I was like, but we know. Go ahead, G. Go ahead.
No,
What do
so
you feel about?
well, again, I did a show, a video earlier. We talked about Joe Milton, and basically, we had the highlights of what his yardage, and his completions, and the things he did against Buffalo. And we went out and made a move. We give a fifth round draft pick for Joe Milton. Now people are saying that basically he might be coming for Dak's job, man. I mean, so wait a minute. I'm just saying, man. They say this is a great move, man. He was a 6th-round draft pick, but the reason he was a 6th-round draft pick was because he had a bad ankle injury or whatever. So, what is your take, Pete? Give us something.
So you're telling me we gave a fifth round pick for a guy that was drafted in the sixth round? That's number one. That's number one. And hasn't even, I mean, he hasn't had multiple starts, been a backup, but a fifth round pick is okay. Never mind that. Okay. The next thing is everybody wants somebody to take Dak's job. I get, somebody waiting for that. Look, we do need a young guy to come in to be ready to start doing. But if we didn't learn anything from the Trey Lance deal, I don't know why people are. And Trey has just as strong as arm as this kid does. His arms, the arm strength wasn't a problem for Trey. And then here's a kid that couldn't keep a starting job in Michigan. Went to I can't remember what college it was, and got sat out again there too. And look, like everything's there though. Like the strength, everything's that's there. But I can't trust a kid to throw a 5-yard accuracy pass just like Trey Lance could it. And so I mean, say what you want. Now, okay, bring him in. Let's see if we can develop the kid and see if we can fix some of these issues. Okay, he's young enough to do that, right? I mean, that's what you want to take a chance on. So does this mean we don't draft a quarterback in this year's draft? And I know, G, I know you don't want to take one in the 4th round, 5th round again. I know you don't want to do that. I get that. But what's the difference of taking a kid in the 5th round than this kid?
That's so true.
I mean, I just want to know what the difference is,
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's and Felicia Collins, she I think she likes this guy. She said we just need someone coming in and fighting for sure, okay. And then she said number 2, he's coming in with a previous ankle injury. That sounds like an attitude right there to me, Peanut Cowboy. I did. She number 2. So basically, I'm thinking Felicia Colley actually likes this kid. So, it made great headlines.
No, yeah. And you know what it reminded me of? The whole highlight, seeing him throw the ball 70 yards. You remember the Jamarcus Russell throwing with off a knee 70 yards? That's what it reminded me of.
Ooh.
That's what it reminded me of. Look, nothing against the kid. I hope he does well. Look, every time we bring somebody here, I have hope that they will do well and they can develop these kids.
Yeah.
But I just, like I said, not very optimistic about it. Everybody's like strong arm this, strong arm that. Okay, what's here? Yeah. Is the accuracy? That's the other stuff that matters in this league. The IQ.
And that's what people fail to realize, man. That there's a reason why there's their 1st-round draft pick and 7th-round draft pick. There's a reason why. And again, we have to ask ourselves, because number one, we God forbid anything happens to Dak, but if it does, who is going to be the person that's going to be able to step in? We don't have the Cooper Rush anymore. So do we have trust in Will Greer or this guy Joe Milton to take us from? And I like I said, I saw one game of Joe Milton. I remember him at Tennessee. I watched him a little bit. Wasn't really just wild, but like I said, we know he has a strong arm and he can scramble or whatever. But my question is, do we have enough faith in him to get us down the road or maintain the team until Dak comes back?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, G, is if you remember the teams that had like when Cooper Rush came in, like it wasn't that great last year, but the year before, remember he went 5-0 or whatever the 5 games he missed or 5 4
Yeah,
and 1, whatever the case was.
yeah,
We had a little bit more talent around him to be able to do that to weather the storm as well.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And like we've said it before too, like, hey, look, Dak, it is what it is. He needs all the help he can around him, right?
yeah.
And where he's at that stage of his career where he needs it even more now. So look, look, we got what, maybe 3 years left, if that, with them. So we
Yeah.
do need somebody in here that can, hey, because I know you don't want to sit there and be sitting here through Vinny Testaverde's and Chad Henney's and stuff like that for 3 or 4 seasons. We
Oh,
look, say what you want to say about Dak, say what you want to say about Romo. Both guys gave us at least 9, 10 plus years of pretty good, okay quarterback play to at least keep us in. I get it. We're championship. We want championships. That's what we're here for. But we were lucky enough. Like I said, I remember those years, and I feel at least lucky enough to have quarterbacks that have came in to hold the fort down for that long as these guys have.
yeah, for sure. I'm gonna bring next guest on, but Felicia Collins said we don't need headlines, we need proof of plans. I totally agree, and that's what we need. And he made the headlines, but is he proven? That's something that we still have to ask. Before we go any further, I got to bring the guy in. He finally made it on, so let's give it up for Cowboys champ. He's in the house. Give it up.
Hey, buddies, how y'all gentlemen doing?
And we're doing good. How you doing, brother?
Uh, I'm doing good. Me and the wife were just eating some little Tex-Mex food.
Okay, okay. So
So,
I'm just kind of feel you in right now. We're talking about the Joe Milton situation. It was a lot of hype, but is there any action behind the hype behind Joe Milton and the move that we did to bring him in? Because a lot of people saying, "Hey, this is the guy that's going to take Dak Prescott job. This is the guy that we might can rely on." But the question is he that guy? So I'm gonna leave that to you.
well, for one, he's a sixth rounder for a reason. He
Well, they
was,
said it was
and
due to an injury.
uh,
They said it was due to a bad ankle injury.
I don't know about that because I know that one game he played, he was 24 for 29. Um, it was some hit and misses.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
no, but I did see a lot of potential.
hmm,
I mean, he's a big kid, like 6'5",
yeah,
249. He can
yeah,
run. But also they say he got a strong arm too. He can throw it like 85 yards.
yeah,
But strong arm and being accurate are two different things. I want to see him hit like a receiver going like a 15-yard slant, hit him on stride, or
yeah,
do like a end around,
yeah,
just
yeah.
mix things up.
Screen pass or something. Yeah,
Even a screen,
Yes,
yeah, something, yeah.
yeah. But like I say, so to me, I think this is a project, and but I'm still curious if something happen, Shadur fall to 12, what the Cowboys going to do?
and it's a possible. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this here personally. My opinion. I think that's where somebody's going to want to leapfrog up to that 12 position, and that's where we'll be able to fall back to get that second round. I just thought I wouldn't bring Shador in right now if we're not going to start him. I mean, you can, but personally, that I would use that as trade bait to fall back to get that extra second pick in the second round. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Should
Pete?
Yes, like I said, I'm with you. I would trade back. I feel like if the Saints don't take him, it's crazy they don't take him at 9. But I like you said, if we're at 12, the team that's being heard around is the Steelers, of course, needing that quarterback. They're at 21. You jump back 9 spots, you can get quite a bit for 9 spots.
You better believe it.
And if you want to sweeten up the deal, they just signed DK Metcalf for the Steelers. I wouldn't mind. Hey, you throw us George Pickens and an extra pick, that solves our big and I get it. He has an attitude problem. He needs to fix some things up. But that gives you your physical receiver that you need on the other side of CD, and it gives you your extra pick that you need.
Yeah.
So that if I was following that shoe, that's what I would do.
So, and if that's the case, Cowboys champ, when do you even take out the time to draft a quarterback, or you just go get a veteran?
Well, I think that trade, what they did to get Milton, that is your backup quarterback. That is your veteran backup quarterback. Now, like you said, no, like you said, if the Cowboys do so happen to trade down, I'm sorry, not trade down, trade back. I want a second and a fourth.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Man,
That'd be great.
because I want my fourth round pick back.
That'd be great.
With the fourth round pick, that's where you can to me that's where you can get your running backs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And we
because
definitely
this
want those.
draft is full of defensive tackles and running backs. So you really don't have to waste a first round pick on top tier running back because from what I'm hearing, to me, okay, for me, I want the Cowboys to have a two back system. But for what I'm hearing, the Cowboys want that one back to be a three down back. They just want to run him to death, which to me, that's a bad idea.
Well,
That is
I'm gonna
that's
tell
a
you
bad
that,
idea.
again. Pete just said earlier when we played the Cardinals, who was that running back that the Steelers gave up?
James Conner.
James Conner. He had almost 200 yards on him by himself. So this is something that Clayton Adams. I mean, come on now, that was back in the day. Emmitt Smith touched the ball 90% of the time. Now my problem with that
Yeah, but
Cowboys champ is my problem with that is, and I don't mean to cut you off, but again, at the running back position, also at the receiver position, the thing about that, this two back system thing, man, you as a running back, you need touches. You cannot put me in one series and then sit me out two series and then put me back in. That running back, this is what happened, I think a lot with Zeke. When Zeke went downhill once we brought in Tony Pollard, he wasn't getting the majority of the touches anymore. So again, a running back has to get majority of the touches, in my opinion. Emmitt Smith touched the ball 90% of the time. I mean, you go back in time where that's exactly what Marshall Faulk. These guys back in the day, that's what they did. So, but again, they're trying to save their investment, making a two-back running back. So, yeah, I can see Clayton Adams basically having a primary back and maybe rotated some one or two in every once in a while. But that's just my opinion. What you think?
Yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead, Cowboys.
Are you go ahead, Pro Cowboy?
Yeah, so I think like I've stated multiple times, I'm even if we do trade back, I'm even down with drafting two running backs if you want to do that. Because this is just what I'm okay. I'll be okay with that. You can get one in the fifth round, one in the second round, one whatever the case may be. But like you said, I think like the way we're looking at the coaching staff, it looks like what Cowboy Champ said. They're going to run this guy, three downs. Javante might get a little bit of tough yard situation, which I like Javante in Denver. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think he's going to be okay as a spare guy. Like, just say come in for a spell or something. Miles Sanders, I really don't. That's one I don't like. But like I said, don't play with my emotions now. If you're going to do this, run. If you're going to get this running back, look, we only have 2 to 3 years left with Dak, whatever the case is. He needs the running game. So I'm okay with taking a running back and just working him to death for 2 to 3 years because that's what you have. That's what you're going to have to do with this offense.
Yeah. And that definitely works. Going to be needed for Dak, man, because he's not going to be one that's going to come out the backfield. I mean, he's not going to run out the backfield. That's not going. He's going to be more and more a pocket passer. That's just it. You're not going to get him to run downfield and all that stuff. You can forget about it, Cowboys champ. What do you think?
Okay, I got to disagree with you a tad bit. Days like Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, them days are gone because the running backs they have now, man, they are Charmin toilet paper blue soft. They can't. They can't. They can't. They can't handle that beating like they used to. Now, I know people talking about Ashton Genty is that type of running back, but he was playing Division II schools at Boise State.
Yeah,
And plus he got a lot of miles on him. He had a lot of miles for that his frame of body. And I still do not trust the Cowboys offensive line to have him to block them holes for him because he might get hit a lot, but I still say you get that two-back system, you got that a Thunder, and you get the Lightning. Back in 2007 when you had Marion Barbarian and Julius Jones.
Oh, come on!
Something very similar to that. Or even the Vikings where they had help me out with they had a 3-back system. Mathis.
Yeah,
Chuck,
got the perfect.
something similar to that.
But I mean, you could even go to the Detroit Lions like the David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs. How they
a prime example.
So
do you really want to use a 12th pick overall on a rotational player?
No.
Oh no! I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you get one in the later rounds. I'm just saying you need a 2-back system.
But now, what's going to happen when Jahmyr Gibbs' contract comes due?
Oh, okay. I told her I'd bring her on Sunday.
You know what I'm saying?
I told her I
was saying the 4th round pick. Started that.
You guys, if Dallas wants a big running back, day 3, Clemson, Phil Maffa, 6'1", 240 pounds. He's rushed for over 2,000 yards and over 20 TDs the last 2 years, and nobody is talking about him. I think I have him ranked 20. That's how deep this running back class is. But there are some big running backs out there.
There is. And like I said before, this is my only problem with this is the last 3 or 4 years we've seen big time running backs available 3rd, 4th, 5th round, and we have not taken these guys when we had the shot. So I feel like I said, I'm with you. I just feel like they're gonna go early with it because they just and for every reason, we knew Zeke was they were going to go Zeke. Why didn't you draft one then? You knew you weren't going to re-sign Tony Potter. Why didn't you take one then? You got teams like the Jets with Breece Hall, nice running back. What do? Get another running back still.
So Seattle's the same way. Seattle got Charbonnet. They got Walker. It's a running back by committee league.
Yeah, and that's what we was talking about. And that what Cowboys champ was saying that he heard that this offensive coordinator wants a dominant running back that's going to be a 3-down running back. But I kind of comparing.
I have maybe 5 guys that are 3-down running backs, and in no particular order: Trevon Henderson from Ohio State, Quashad Junkins from Ohio State, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. He's a 3-down back. Amarian Hampton from North Carolina.
Yep.
He's a 3-down back. And honestly, if you want a big monster he has good hands, I'll throw the kid Phil Maffa out of Clemson out there. I put out 37 backs. 37 backs. I put out 37 running backs with a draftable grade, and that's not even counting undrafted free agency. It's what kills us is for the last 2 years we haven't had a 4th round pick, and this year we don't have a 4th round either.
Yeah.
Well, it's possible that now, Danny. That's what we're talking about. And let's everybody welcome Danny Savage, the draft guru, to the show. What's up, Danny?
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate you coming through, bro. We appreciate all the knowledge that you bring because I'm just definitely finna ask you about that, man. Because this kid that you just mentioned from Clemson. Now, who is this kid again?
Phil Maffa, running back, Clemson. He's 6'1", 240. He's a beast. And he can come out of the backfield and catch the ball, too. He has hands also.
So since we're talking about running back, so Ashton Genty, What are your thoughts about Ashton Genty?
Don't want him. Don't want because well, first of all, he's not a 3-down back. You notice I left him out. Austin Gentry, he has that. One of the reasons why he had that weird unorthodox stance of him standing up was because he can't see over the line. That's why he had that stance. You ain't gonna leave him on 3rd down because a linebacker or a safety is gonna run his ass over. In my opinion, Austin Gentry is a 2-down back. That's just my opinion. No. He played. Boise State played 2 tough teams, Penn State and Oregon. Granted, he played good against Oregon and a beat-up Penn State team, but playing 2 good teams because every other week they played St. Mary's School of the Blind versus playing 12, 13 monsters. I don't think he's going to hold up.
Yeah.
He can fly. I just think, listen, no matter where he goes, he's going to go early. He's going to go to a team. He's going to a bad team. And most likely that team's going to have a bad offensive line. You know what I'm saying? So,
kind of remind you of Saquon Barkley. It could be the same thing. But, you know, I'm like you, Danny, and I people can say what they want, and, you know, the media will hype these players up and make them more than what we know. And I said all the time, I'm always looking at the strength of schedule. In Boise State, again, like you say, 2 tough team in the depleted Penn State team. So can he come to the next level and handle the pressure? I don't think so. And he has a lot of miles on his body now. So, you know, like you say, nothing from him. I don't take nothing. He's a hometown kid and everything, but it just I don't think he fits our what we're looking for when we're talking about running back.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect day 3 poor man's Austin Gentry. Kyle Monangai out of Rutgers. In 2023, he led the Big Ten in rushing at Rutgers. And then in 2024, he came right back out with 1,300 yards and 10 TDs off of Rutgers was banged up a lot. So to me, 1,400 yards in the Big Ten, I look at that better than, you know what I'm trying to say?
That's right. Big Ten and SEC, brother. If you can hang in there.
He's getting no love. Kyle Monangai. He's a Jersey kid. I watched him play 4 years in high school, and then he went down to Rutgers. And he's a 5'9", 210-pound bone ball. It's such a deep running back class. There's no reason to go early. There's no reason.
So what about the kid from Utah State? Is that his name? What's his name? No, that's a receiver. He's a
wide receiver, Jalen Royals. He's very good. I have him as my 9th ranked wide receiver. He's really good there.
So because you're bringing up some names, Danny, that I have my list of running backs, but now you come. So there's no reason that we should not come out with a hell of a running back somewhere in the draft.
2. We have to come out of this draft. Yeah. The strength of this draft is defensive tackle, edge, and running back. Those are the strengths of this class. It's I think it's a very good tight end class. It's a below average quarterback class. It's a below average offensive line. It is what it is. It's a below average corner class. Safety is decent. Tight end, I could get 10, 12. It's a very decent draft at tight end. I know we don't. But then again, besides Luke Schoolmaker, everyone else is going to be a free agent after this year. So then,
let's talk about this guy, Tyler Warren, to the Cowboys. Do you take him with the 12th pick?
Listen, he could have played 40 years ago. This kid, I'm being serious. 6'6", 260. He had over 1,200 yards, like 110 catches. He played tight end, quarterback, running back. When 4th and 1, they would put him at quarterback. He had 4 rushing touchdowns even. He's 6'6", 260. I comp him to a bigger Jeremy Shockey, but I think he's more athletic than Rob Gronkowski also. He could have played 40 years ago, this kid. He is a throwback player.
So,
And anyone watch Penn State versus USC? He had like 19 receptions. He went off.
hey, he got all the accolades, man. So, PR Cowboy, what are you going to do? Will you, if he's there at 12, are you going to pick him at 12?
I'm sticking to my deal. I'm still trading back, man. I don't like. I get it. I'm still trading back. We just we just got too many holes to fill just to kind of go in with like I get it. You know, we can trade back and still get a really good player. Like like you said, there's all these. He said there's decent at tight end throughout this deal.
Oh yeah,
And we're gonna from everything we're seeing, we're gonna be a running football team. So we need a draft like this is what we're gonna do, and build this roster if we're gonna be that.
Yeah.
Well, the only good part about him is he blocks like he's the third offensive tackle.
No, no, I get that.
That would be a great heavy.
I'm just saying, if you're this shoes, like G, would you take him, or if you had the opportunity to trade back and you got an extra, like Cowboys said, you had an extra second and a fourth round pick, you get that.
1,000%. You see, this is the problem. When you have a draft that is below in talent, what they're going to offer you to trade back is like last year we saw a third to go back. This year, you're going to see somebody offer you a fourth or a fifth to move. The compensation is going to be lower to trade back. In this draft, the only way the compensation is going to be higher if someone's coming up for a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then it's the quarterback tax.
Yeah.
You're going to tax them. Listen, I have no problem moving back, but I personally wouldn't want to go back more than 5 slots the most. And I don't want to go behind Arizona because there is a wide receiver on the board that I know Arizona would snatch in a heartbeat if we were to go that round. But then we need to go offensive, defensive line, to be honest.
So here's the scenario. The scenario is Shedeur Sanders falls to 12, and somebody wants to jump up like we talked about earlier from the 21st spot to get Shedeur. That's one way they'll have to give up a second round. If I'm going to drop that far back, and you got a quarterback sitting at 12, and it could be possibly Shedeur sitting there at 12. This could probably work in our favor.
But the year we traded back with the Travis Frederick draft, we moved back like 11 spots and only got like a third or fourth. If you want me to move back from 12 to 21 and you're coming up for a quarterback, but you see, the problem is Pittsburgh is really not that active like that on draft day. They're more of a conservative franchise. Yeah, besides the Mika Fitzpatrick trade, they're never out trading for people. I don't see Pittsburgh they've only had 3 coaches in the entire existence of the team. I don't see them being flashy and being like, yeah, we'll give you a second and a third to come up for 12, and plus the 21st.
Yeah. Thomas Johnson. Go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Oh, it could be another team, but who knows?
Yeah. Thomas Johnson says you take a tight end at 12 and the fan base will melt down. He probably right about that. Yeah, we got enough tight ends, right? Which I like. I like Tyler Warren. What you got, Cowboys Champ?
Well, man, I'm telling you, man, Warren, he's one of those extra special players, man.
So
you talking about
take him at 12?
Oh yeah, if he's there at 12, oh yes, I'm most definitely taking him.
Woo.
He's one of the few though, because like I said, he's one of the few that I will. Him and this defensive end from Georgia. Sam Stone, his name.
Mikael Williams.
Mikael Williams. Or even if Carter, Bill Carter drops to 12,
that ain't gonna happen,
those are 3. I know it's not, but those are only 3 players that I will stay right there and draft. If not, I'm trading down and try to pick up some more picks.
Yeah,
Mikael Williams is actually my number one rated edge because he played on a
Really?
high ankle sprain this year, and he had 5 sacks. And I challenge people, the kid, he's only 20. He can't even drink yet. He's 20 years old. He's not full grown. He
No.
has 10-inch hands. He's
6'6".
6'6", 265, and he was playing defensive tackle and edge. Had a high ankle sprain, still had 5 sacks. And anyone that wants to knock him, all I say is, in my opinion, last year Texas had the best offensive line in college football. Watch the 2 Texas games with Georgia. He lived in the backfield against them.
Yeah, so he's ready. He's ready. So with that being said, I want to start. We're gonna finish up with this conversation right here before we get out of here. So PR Cowboy, the Micah Parsons saga continues. What are we doing, man?
Same thing we always do, man. It's the same thing. Cowboys champ has ran on this thing. I've heard Danny, ran on this thing. We've all ran on this thing of what was going to happen, what is happening, and we all saw it coming. If you know the game, if you've been around, we knew what was coming, right? Everybody can agree, right? So
Yeah.
I have no words for it, man. It's just one of those things. This is why I'm just looking forward to the draft, not listening to this stuff, the Parsons deal, because it is. We knew what was coming with this Parsons saga. It's headlines and more headlines or whatever you want to call it.
So Cowboys champ, the longer you wait, the more you messing up, because if we get Micah signed, you can extend that money and you can bring more players in. So again, I understand why Micah's not worried, because he's seen it, Danny. He's also seen it with Dak, and he saw it with CD. So he already know I'm gonna get paid. So you can do it now or later. But the timing right now, Cowboys champ, it just doesn't make sense, brother.
Man, okay. I said it 2 years ago after the Green Bay Packers game, the playoff debacle. It's a 5-letter word. Start with a T and ends with an E. Trade. I will trade his butt in a minute. I'm taking the highest offer. But man, I'm sick of Parsons. Wait, I'm sorry.
No, I was just sorry. That's why I asked the question, because are we there? Or is that possibility? I mean, go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Is it possible? Is it possible? Come in. You know what? For one, I love his talent. I'm just sick of the diva attitude, man. He's not a leader. A leader ain't gonna do this all the time. A leader is going to show example why you're the leader of this team. Why I'm gonna put the defense on my back and I'm gonna will us a victory. He don't do that. It's all about stats. And I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Sister Cowboy. Stats are for losers.
Woo.
I mean, if you just worry about stats, stats are for losers. You need to do more than just stats, Mr. Micah Parsons. You need to show initiative that you want to be that man, that you want to put on that cape, that you want to say you're that lion, but you ain't no lion. You're more like a cheetah. Cheetah that get out of breath real fast. You run after the quarterback, and then within 2 plays later, you on the sideline gasping for breath, and then you cry. The referee is not calling the hold because everybody holding on you. Well, first of all, you're not defending. You are a linebacker. You're supposed to be back, hitting them gaps. No, you want to act like you Lawrence Taylor. You're not Lawrence Taylor. Just be Micah Parsons. And I mean,
Such a nerd, G.
I mean, just the fact that, man, it's just a diva attitude, man. I'm done with it. Trade his foot. I'm done.
Danny.
Alabama hit it on the head. Alabama offered Micah Parsons a scholarship. You know where, though? At running back.
Oh, jeez.
And I've said it since day one. Micah Parsons is a linebacker with an offensive line, with an offensive mentality. He's not a dog. He never was. He had off the field issues at Penn State that got swept under the rug. Yet, we're not going to get into that. But I lost all respect for Micah Parsons 2 years ago. We're playing the Jets in a torrential rainstorm. The rain's coming sideways. We're up like 45-10. Legit. It's 4 minutes left in the game, fourth quarter. And Micah Parsons is on the field looking for a sack. My response is, it's 45-10, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He blows his knee out with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Who's getting fired first, Dan Quinn or Big Mike McCarthy? I lost all respect for him. I can pull up a lot of plays when he gets, listen, you can call holding on any play, every single play. He gives up when he does get held, he just gives up. He's not big enough. He's not a full-time edge. That's what the problem is. If you want to make how can I phrase this? If you want to make a third down pass rusher, the highest paid defensive player in the NFL, he's not a 3-down edge. If you run right at him, any physical offensive tackle gets their hands on him, he's done.
Well, we have to blame Jerry Jones for that before waiting so late. He wouldn't be worth $200 million if we wouldn't have seen Josh Sweat get paid, and then we saw Myles Garrett get paid. So again, this is on Jerry, and he's going to continue to wait, and he's going to end up paying more. So that's where we are. Thomas Johnson said, leadership starts at the top. What example is being set by individuals in the front office for Micah to follow? Stop blaming the players for the owner's horrible business. And you know what? A lot of that has to do with ownership.
I agree 1,000%.
Yeah,
Thomas Johnson, but unfortunately, also the ownership and the people on top were the same people that were on top when we had the Charles Haley's and we had the dogs on the team. There's just no leaders. Dak's not a leader on offense.
No.
And we have no leader on defense. So, and I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, in a trade, I don't think us as Dallas fans would get what we think we would want from Micah Parsons.
No.
And I don't see another team giving him $200 million. But a third down pass rusher, but then again, last year we were told that who was our defense coordinator? Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer, who came back, gave Micah Parsons the freedom to line up wherever he wants, which is smart. Because in my opinion, he's a rover. He's a chess piece that you got to move around on every single play. And yet, where did Micah line up? Like 90% of the time, at defensive end, because he wants that money.
The highest paid. Well, and that's and that has a lot to do with it for sure. It's just that Jerry created this situation, and that's where we are. But when we talk about this front office, we got, again, like I say, we got businessmen making coaches' decisions. So that's why we are where we are. So it's just what we do. So again, we have prolonged this once again, and again, I'm sure Micah's not worried about it because Micah knows he's going to get paid. What you got, Pete?
And that's the interesting thing about it is we're like, okay, do you sign him because we know we're going to make a horrible deal, right? Or do you trade him? Because then again, you're going to make a horrible deal in the trade offer, what you're going to get. So it's like, which way do you go with this front office? Because we don't trust these guys either way when they do either or, contracts or trades.
Yeah. Well, that was Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson did that Herschel Walker deal. Jerry Jones cannot pull this. He could not even fathom to pull that off what Jimmy Johnson did back in 91. It's just no way he could pull that off. So I would hate to see us in that situation and see Jerry try to pull something off because he would muck it up. I mean, Cowboys champ, do Do you agree with that?
Don't say Jerry. Will McClay and Steven
Yeah.
would mess it up. Because I think they the one that really run this team more than Jerry is. As far as behind the scenes, Jerry and Will McClay.
Right.
Yeah, I think especially Steven being cheap cat boy. Yeah, I think he will mess this up.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a bright idea to try to put Parson up as trade bait, because I just feel that we won't get what we think we would. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen.
But my only thing is, I still would trade him to give. I mean, because to be honest, this is the third defensive scheme in 3 years, and to be fair with Eberflus, if you plan on keeping him for the next 2 or 3 years, do what they did. His players and draft right here to build your defensive line. Because I don't know about next year, but this the draft to do it.
Yeah.
And just the fact that we still arguing how to play Parsons, yeah, that's still. I mean, for another day and time.
Yeah. Well, all we can say is the saga continues, and all we can do is wait and see. And here we are on the countdown to the draft, man. And Danny, I'm sure you got something set up for this draft day, and I'm not sure PR Cowboy and myself, and maybe Cowboy Champ, we're going to be doing the first round here on the live. So you guys not doing anything, y'all more than welcome to come through and hang out with us. But yeah, we're on the countdown, so all we can do is wait and see, guys. Y'all got any final words before we get out of here? I want to thank everybody for coming through and hanging out with us. Again, thank you. Do me a favor, hit that subscription button and hit the like button. But before we get out, starting with you, Danny Savage, what you got before we get out of here, brother?
Just gotta pray. Gotta pray for a good draft, man. We can't handle another bad draft in a row. Can't.
So true. So true. PR Cowboy, what you got?
Danny took it right out of me, bro. He said he hit it right on the head, boy. Hey, I'm ready for next Thursday night. We're gonna be here. You'll probably see a few candles lit in the room, and we're gonna, G's gonna come on with the Dallas theme song from the '70s show. You know what I'm talking about. You're gonna come on with it, and hey, we're gonna hit it hard. We're gonna be ready, and you know how we do it, G, on draft night, man.
Sir. Yes, sir. Cowboy Chat, what you got before we get out of here, my man?
Yes, man. It won't hurt to say a little prayers. It's superstitious, but to be honest, man, I don't. I just got a feeling that the Cowboys are gonna screw this up for the third straight year. I hope not, but I hope they surprise us.
Well, y'all, there it is. You heard it first from the panel. The panel has gave their thoughts on this upcoming draft, and again, like I say, all we can do is wait and see. So keep your fingers crossed, get your candles out, get on your knees, and say, "Father, just give me one Super Bowl before I leave this earth." But that's where we are. So anyway, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Danny, tell everybody where they can find you.
Find me on YouTube, Danny Savage, Draft Guru. I've dropped 717 players since May of last year. I've dropped 85 mock drafts already, Dallas mock drafts, and I'm on mock draft 7.0 for all 32 NFL teams. But from now until the draft, it's basically just going to be mock drafts and sleepers. I'll be dropping sleepers every day.
That's what's up. PR, where can they find you at on TikTok?
Yeah, PR Cowboys on TikTok. Find me there. You know, me and some other creators. Sometimes we get some lives going on live when we get a chance. But also too here, Wednesday nights, and then come with us next Thursday and follow this draft along, as we'll have our list ready, and you'll see live reactions when the picks come in. That's the best thing.
You'll hear a lot of this. Cowboys Champ, what's your final word, bro, before we get out of here, my man?
You can find me Clown Boys or Cowboy Champs on YouTube. My final word is next Thursday is either a good day or it's gonna be a bad day. like what this draft depend on the first round.
Yeah. That's going to tell it all. The first pick in the first round, we're going to be the telltale sign of what we're going to do from there on out. So, okay, guys, like I said, always be safe and continue to be blessed. Thank y'all, and be safe out there and enjoy the rest of your night. Deuces.